everybody, welcome back to It's a Matter of Principle, where we highlight life principles that guarantee success in life. And so today we're going to be talking about what I like to call internal redirection. Internal redirection. And so that's defined as this: the ability to recognize emotionally or emotional or mental dead ends, right? And intentionally take a more productive path, right? It's the ability to look at something you're doing, look at a way that you're thinking, and decide, is this going to lead me down the path that I want to go? Is this taking me to a dead end, a place where it's not going to be productive for my life or my family or my finances? Or, emotionally, am I feeling things? Am I dwelling on emotions that are keeping me in a negative place, that are not producing what I want to produce in my life? It's like being able to hone in on those thought patterns, hone in on those emotions, and say, you know what? I'm going to do a different thing. I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to think a different way. It's called internal redirection. Now, most of us are familiar with this process because we do it all the time. I mean, if you're an adult, you have a job, I'm sure you're familiar. If you've been at work and you've had a bad day at work, co-workers getting on your nerves, boss is mean to you, there have been times emotionally, or that you've wanted to say things or do things that would have not helped your job, that would probably have caused you to lose your job. And you made a decision. You recognized what you were feeling. And instead of reacting negatively, you put a smile on your face. You said, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and you did your job. And you kept your job so that you can keep those lights on and keep buying your kids food and clothes. We understand this principle. When we're dealing with our kids, there are times when the kids say something, they do something, they're disobedient, and you're angry and you want to respond a certain way, but then you realize me reacting this way is not going to be productive for the child or for my home and just in general. So this is what I'm going to do instead. I recognize something that I was feeling or thinking that was going to lead to something negative, and I decided to go a different way. And so check this out. The only thing that's really required for this is just a little foresight, but mainly common sense, right? It's just mainly common sense. I know that if I try to put hands on my boss for being disrespectful, I'm going to lose my job and potentially go to jail. So, that's not hard to understand. That's common sense. I know that, even though my child is doing things that I don't agree with, I'm not going to call my child stupid or make them feel like they're unwanted or make them feel like they're no good. That's not good for the child. It may make me feel better. It may be what's going on in my heart or in my mind at that moment, but it is unproductive. And so you're familiar with this process. When you're dealing with your spouse, you're dealing with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, you don't just say anything that pops into your head, or you shouldn't. Which, that's just not a good idea. You have to show some restraint. You have to be able to think, like, is this thing I'm going to say, this thing that I'm feeling, if I release it, is it going to produce what I want to produce? And the answer is, sometimes it's no, sometimes it's yes, but sometimes you got to have that foresight, and you got to have that ability to do some self-reflection, but like, okay, I'm not just going to react. Let me think about what I'm doing. Let me think about how I'm feeling, and let me determine if this is going to be productive for my life. Now, check this out. This is merely just a stopgap measure. It's a good principle to use, and it's something that we have to use every day, but it's not meant to take the place of dealing with different issues. So I know some of you right now are thinking, well, I got to keep it real. I got to keep it 100. It's like, I'm not just going to run around and just always hide my feelings and say, I feel this, but I'm going to say this. It's like, I'm not going to be fake. It's not about being fake. Only childish people talk like that anyway. Can I touch on that for a second? Only childish people are like, I'm just going to say whatever I feel, whenever I feel it. I'm going to say what I think, whenever I think, how I think it. That's childish. That's your child if you're doing that. And I'm not trying to be offensive, but I want you to understand. Think about a child who doesn't get their way. What do? They throw a tantrum. That's all that is. It's just a tantrum. Don't throw tantrums. When you grow up and you mature, you recognize that you can't have everything you want to have. Now, you can work for what you want, but just because you don't get something doesn't mean you can make other people feel bad. That means you can try to push people away and put down other people because you didn't get what you wanted, or you're taking revenge on people, because they hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you back. If you said something to me, I'm gonna say something back. We call it clap back. It's like, grow up. Okay, let's it's a stopgap measure. You do need to deal with what you're feeling, but sometimes in the moment, in order to be productive and in order to, keep on the path that you want to be on, in order for your personal success, your finances, your relationships, your everything that you're wanting to pursue in life, you have to be able to spot areas of thinking and emotional things that you're feeling that aren't taking you in the path that you want to go in, and redirect yourself. Internally redirect. It's not about being fake. It's about understanding this is not going to help my life, so why do it? I can do it because it makes me feel better, but then I'm in a situation now that I don't want to be in, and now I have to go back and work to get out of a situation I created because I couldn't keep my mouth closed. So this is something I'm passionate about, clearly, you can see, because so many of us sabotage ourselves because we allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by emotion. We just say whatever comes to our head. Learn how, maturity requires you to say, hey, is this choice that I'm about to make, is this thing that I'm about to say, are these feelings that I'm dwelling on, are they going to take me where I want to go, or are they going to keep me in a bad place? Internally redirect yourself. It's a principle that you have to utilize every day. But once you have redirected and got on the right path, go back and deal with those feelings, deal with those thought patterns, deal with those. We talked in another a matter of principle, we talked about the principle of mindset, and how everything that you are, everything that you're going to be is a result of established beliefs and attitudes. If you can't change those, if you can't deal with those and understand why you have those, then you're going to constantly just be just tossed. Every time something make you angry, you just fly off. Every time you sad, you can't function. Every time, you cannot be this way. It's unproductive for your life. You know what I'm saying? You keep it 100, but do it in a way that causes you to stay on a path of success and not keep you in a position where you expressed your feelings and now you ain't got no job. you expressed what you thought, but now you done lost the best thing that's happened to you in your life. You done lost your spouse, you done lost your girlfriend, your boyfriend, because you just had to say something. Internally redirect. Think about what you're going to say. Think about what you're going to do. Is it productive? Is it going to keep me in the path that I want to be on? And if not, redirect yourself and stay on the right path. You know what I mean? It's like, we understand this. And again, do it, but then go back and deal with those issues. Go back and deal with the things that are causing you to feel that way. If you're in a bad situation that's constantly making you feel angry or sad or depressed, then let's deal with that. Deal with that. But in the heat of the moment, in the argument or in a situation where, you emotions are running high, you can't always just respond. So I really want to help y'all succeed. At Dream Company, that's all we do is help people to discover, pursue, and fulfill their purpose. We are not interested in just, likes are good, shares are nice, but ultimately we want you to succeed. We want you to be empowered. So, as always, if you have any questions or thoughts, if you just like this, just share it, love it, just put a little heart down there, because again, we want people to succeed, and so we appreciate y'all tuning in, and just keep looking for more videos. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Dream Company Movement on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at DreamCode2918. We have weekly empowerment sessions live on Facebook, 7 p.m. on Thursdays. Just join our group on Facebook, which is entitled the DCM Weekly Empowerment Workshop. Come join us. We want you to be empowered. We want you to fulfill your potential, because again, the world desperately needs the best version of you, and the best version of you is the person that's fulfilling their purpose. There's no greater level of fulfillment or happiness than a person that's not only doing what they were meant to do, but they're becoming what they were meant to become. The world desperately needs that. That's your light, and we definitely need more light and less darkness. So love y'all, and appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.